Older Renault Zoe owners be having a bit of a tough time of it recently, haven't they? Rapid AC charging seems to be slipping away. When I visited the new flagship electric highway site in Rugby, there wasn't an AC charger to be found. It was all CCS or CHAdeMO, DC only. And it was the same story at the new InstaVolt installation at Corley southbound I visited, and the northbound's the same. CCS and CHAdeMO only on InstaVolt. Obviously those sites currently have legacy electric highway EC available, so you could charge there, but certainly feels like it's slipping away a little bit, doesn't it? If you've got a Zoe that can only charge at 22 or 43 kilowatt AC, surely we're not condemning these cars into be sort of local only. You know, you can't go any further than your range because you won't be able to charge. Surely we're not doing that, because some of them aren't even that old. Well, there's some news from Gridserve Electric Highway that will hopefully give you some hope if you've got a Zoe. As you'll no doubt know by now, Gridserve bought 100% of Electric Highway from founders Ecotricity, and they now control EV charging at every motorway service area in the UK. And they've started the mammoth task of replacing every old, faulty, dodgy charger across the services network, and they're making really good progress with it. There's just one slight problem. If you've got a Renault Zoe, you can only charge on AC. At every site they've upgraded so far, they've taken out AC chargers and they've replaced them with new units that are DC only. Viable charging options for Zoe owners, and arguably the most reliable bit of the old electric highway, has disappeared, sometimes overnight in some locations. You turn up the charger isn't there anymore. Naturally, Zoe owners are pretty annoyed about this, with other networks like IONITY and InstaVolt also shunning AC charging, being DC only. Removing a load more AC doesn't really do much for the viability of long journeys in the Zoe, does it? A worrying time indeed. Now though, Gridserve have responded. They recognise the importance of AC charging and have issued the following statement, a link to which is in the description if you want to read it firsthand. This statement comes from Torrington Harper, CEO of Gridserve. When we first announced our partnership with Ecotricity and our plans for replacing the existing chargers, we explained that we would be catering for all types of charging needs, to serve both new and existing electric vehicles with CCS, CHAdeMO and AC connectors. This is still absolutely the case. However, we've had to change the way we are delivering our plans due to supply chain challenges with certain types of chargers, particularly AC sockets for the first tranches of replacement sites. We took the decision that it would be better for the majority of our customers to get moving on the replacement chargers straight away, rather than delay the upgrades and to find workaround solutions that deliver the same outcome. All electric cars can charge on AC, albeit at a slower speed compared with DC chargers. So to ensure anyone can get a charge at any of our locations, it's essential for us that we provide AC charging at every location. We hear you, Renault Zoe drivers, and we get it, as we're EV drivers ourselves. However, due to the supply chain constraints, we weren't able to get integrated AC chargers for the first wave of chargers that we've replaced. To resolve this, we made the decision to crack on and get the DC chargers replaced ASAP, and in addition, we've ordered a load of standalone 22 kilowatt AC chargers to accompany the DC charger rollout, with a view to providing dedicated AC charging bays adjacent to the DC charger bays. This, of course, also provides the additional benefit of separating slower AC charging from faster DC charging and maximising throughput and reducing waiting times for everyone. Sounds good. That said, the extra challenge with this plan is that certain locations are space constrained, and at other locations we only have an agreement to provide a certain number of chargers per location. For locations where we are not able to provide additional chargers, such as Cobham and Beaconsfield services, we will swap out at least one of the existing chargers that we have recently installed with a similar one that includes an integrated AC socket. And we'll do this as soon as the new chargers with integrated AC sockets become available, which we estimate will then be within 1 to 2 months from now. And thereafter, all of the new chargers will come with integrated AC sockets. The order for the separate AC chargers was placed weeks ago, but the chargers haven't yet arrived. There are also technical complexities integrating AC chargers with contactless payment devices, so we have to complete some integration works and thorough testing, as well as the installations themselves. We're working through this as quickly as possible, and we expect the first standalone AC chargers to be installed within about a month. So that's great news for Zoe drivers, isn't it? I think you'll agree. I don't think anybody can deny it. There's a delay in provisioning, fair enough, which is unfortunate, yep. And I'd certainly welcome your opinion of their decision to prioritise replacing the old network, the flaky old dodgy chargers, over ensuring that all vehicle types were provided for. Now, as someone with a CCS car, many of the old electric highway chargers aren't usable. And, as you see if you watch my video where I attempted to charge my MG ZS EV at Gloucester South. So I'm certainly on the side of getting them upgraded first, because actually there isn't viable CCS in a lot of locations. And if that does impact the AC availability, I totally get it. I totally get it. That'll be frustrating for you. Interesting that there are such supply shortages. Now, I know there's also a lot of world events going on at the moment that will be impacting supply chain, but do we also think maybe the various charging companies are competing for hardware? Not sure, but there's a lot of expansion going on. A lot of companies using similar kit. Is it harder and harder to get your hands on it? Don't know. Agreements with motorway service operators that actively restrict the number of chargers that can be provisioned at a given location sounds a bit counterintuitive as well, doesn't it? Although, of course, there could be grid capacity implications wrapped up in that as well. And I know that, like Beaconsfield at least, that's a site where you have IONITY as well as electric highway. So maybe that plays a bit of a part in that too. Sound a bit weird though. But let me know what you think. Are you a Renault Zoe owner? Has the promise of more AC charging, even at these upgraded sites where it looked like it had gone away, that renewed your faith in Gridserve's electric highway? I definitely think it's a move in the right direction. That's it for this video. Many thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.